let's talk about the Christmas turkey. We're going to take a look at the turkey. You know, it used to be that it was always a tradition to have a turkey for Thanksgiving and then a turkey for Christmas. And you know, the new school folks, the millennials, are a little more loosey-goosey about that. They have established different types of traditions and they're doing different things. But for those of us who are a little more old school, we got to have our bird. And so because of that, we're going to look at an old school way of preparing the turkey, and I'm going to show you a new school way to prepare that turkey so that the turkey is done in one day, and in fact, in a couple of hours. Can you believe it? A couple of hours. Oh my goodness. And it's perfectly done and it's beautiful. So let's take a look at and compare old school versus new school. This turkey has been thawed, the giblets removed, and I'm ready to inject it with apple cider. And I'm using a combination of apple cider. I've mixed it a little salt in there, and I'm going to just put that solution all inside of this turkey. I'm also going to cover it with butter, and I'm going to go up under the skin and I'm going to tuck in butter everywhere, because that butter is going to aid the browning process, as well as it's going to give the turkey great flavor. Now, while we're buttering up the bird, let's talk about old school turkeys. You know, I can remember taking, 3 or 4 days to get this turkey ready just to go into the oven, where we've thawed it. It's taken at least 2 to 3 days for it to get to the point where we could work with it. Then we would put all kinds of butter and seasonings and all those good things all over it. And certainly that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, this was my Thanksgiving turkey. And so what I am going to do is to add some fat to it, because what that's going to do is to add the fat to the juices that's going to fall into the pan. And that's going to be a good thing, because then we can make our gravy from that. But you know what? Because of the time that's involved, remember I said 2 to 3 days to get this bird ready and on the table. And it usually takes, because of its size, it usually takes anywhere from 4 or more hours, depending upon the level of heat that you cook your turkey at. And I can remember the days of putting the turkey in before I go to bed and waking up to take it out at about 5 in the morning. And so if you're okay with that, wonderful. But you know what? A new method has come about, and that's what we're going to take a look at. I'm going to link down in the description box a link for you to go to, where you can really get all the gory information and look at how to do this turkey in one day. And when I say one day, we're talking 2 hours. 2 hours. Now, will you have to do a little bit of preliminary work? Of course, but because it's a turkey. But you know what? 2 hours to cook, and it's perfectly done. It's not overcooked, and it's beautifully browned, and your family will love it. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. All right, we've started the seasoning process and we've gotten the turkey into the bag. And we need to, I'm going to close it up a little bit because I do want to protect surfaces, and certainly I want to keep most of what's in there in there. And we've injected it with our apple cider, and we've given it lots of seasoned salt, and I even added a little bit of garlic and some other seasonings in. And we want to be able to have a delicious turkey. Now, what I normally do is that I do all of this ahead of time so that when it's time to take it out, and you'll see I'm about to put it into a little box for it to go in. And that's the box it is going to sit in tonight. And it's going to stay there overnight. I injected it this time rather than just letting it sit in the brine over 24 to 48 hours. I've mixed up my cider house mixture and injected that baby into the turkey. So we're going to do a last minute rub down with some things on top. We've added the salt, the pepper anyway. I haven't salted it yet, but it has a little bit of salted butter already in it. It's already in its cute little bag, and really, to be honest with you, it's pretty much ready to go. The pan is over here ready to receive it. The oven is on. I'm going to start the oven at 400, and it's going to take about 4 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour that into the bag. Whoops. I don't want to lose it. Get everything open. Ooh, it smells good. So I know I've got good spices in there. All right, here we go. I'm going to put that in. Not necessarily see me. Now what I like to do, you have to give it a little space. And what I'm going to do is to take it, I twist it a couple of times, and then just make a knot. And this is going to come out just fine. All right, so our oven's up to 400. We're ready to put this in. It's going to go in immediately, and it is 12 noon. So probably somewhere around 4, it'll be ready. There's our knot. It's got its good seasonings on it, and I don't know if you can see the juices down in there, but they're down in that bag. Okay, let's do it. I've added the giblets to the pot, and we have a low fire. And now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients so that we can make a delicious turkey stock. I got the celery in. Let me turn it on 1 second so you can hear. I'll just keep it on low. So, celery's in. I'm going to add in. This is our container that we had the apple cider in. I'm not going to put any apple cider in this. I'm just using it to put the water in. So I have a half gallon that I'm starting with, and that's a pretty good amount. I think I'm going to put about half of this, another quart or so in, and once I do that, it's going to be ready to turn on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat up, and I'm going to start it on high, and once it comes to a boil, then I will turn it down. Now it may be that later I might actually be able to add a little more water to it, but I really want this to boil well. I want to get everything out of those giblets as I can possibly get. Now over here on the side, you'll see that he has actually cut the turkey itself into pieces, which that's how he likes to do it. And in fact, I think it cooks a little faster when you do that. Oh, it cuts the cooking time in half.
And you can dry brine it for the entire night the day before, and it also helps to crisp the skin and do all that stuff.
Okay. Crispy skin, dry brine, and you can do it the night before. How about that? We like those kinds of tips. No, I had to get everything straight because my son does his turkey one way, I do my turkey another way, and very often we have a turkey cook-off, but not today. So what he's doing is that he's taking the carcass and the giblets and all these good vegetables, and he is going to roast them. And then once they've been roasted, you'll see he's putting a little olive oil over the vegetables and the carcass. He'll salt and pepper it, and then from there, it will go into how many degrees?
450.
About a 450 degree oven for how long?
Just till it starts to brown and the vegetables are roasted.
Okay. And then...
20-25 minutes.
Oh, okay, for about 20-25 minutes. And then he's going to put it into the stock pot. And we're going to have some rich and delicious stock that's going to come from this. I wish you could smell this dry brine. Wow, it smells wonderful. You're going to take the dry brine and you're going to sprinkle it front and back of each piece of turkey. And after you've gotten brine on all the pieces, then you're going to go back, and if you have any brine left, you're going to sprinkle even more. And you'll take your hand and you'll massage that brine into the skin of the turkey. Now this is going to sit in the refrigerator so that the skin can dry, and you're going to sit it in the refrigerator uncovered for several hours, preferably overnight. So you can do this the day in advance, and so that you can take it out of the oven and put it directly ready to go into, or take it out of the refrigerator rather, and put it into the oven and have it ready to go. Now the new school, faster method treats that turkey like a chicken. And you know what? Where it takes about an hour for a nice sized large chicken, it takes 2 hours for your turkey. The day that you're going to prepare this turkey, you're going to want to put together an herb butter that you will be able to tuck in all different places. And if you watch, you're going to see, and you can decide what herbs you want. And he's just using his hands and putting that herb butter all over the turkey, as well as under the skin of the turkey. Now the turkey has been in the refrigerator, and it was uncovered overnight so that it could dry the skin. And I tell you what, this skin is going to be very, very crispy, but the meat is going to be juicy and tender. So we're just spreading that butter all over the turkey, and it's going to have its own little special butter bath once it's in the oven. Now, your oven should be preheating on 425. And you know what? You're going to want to do this, and you need to time it because it's going to take 2 hours. So 2 hours before you plan to serve this turkey, that's when you will put it into the oven. So you have to plan your other dishes, whatever needs to go into the oven, get those things done. But you notice, because everything's flat, you can actually cook other dishes in the oven with the turkey, get them in and out, and you've got room. Whereas when you have a full-size turkey in the oven, it pretty much takes up the whole space. But this way, we have lots of space. So we're just tucking the butter in. Now, maybe about 20 minutes before the end of that 2-hour period, you're going to want to check the turkey, make sure it hasn't gotten too dark. Use your thermometer and keep it somewhere between 160 to 165. And because after it's removed from the oven, it's going to continue to cook. Now, you don't want to overcrowd your pan. So you may have to use 2 pans rather than 1. And that's okay, because they're flat pans. It will allow for more space, and you'll be able to get other things in the oven besides the turkey. So this is a very, very good method. After an hour, just turn the pans around in the oven so that they're facing the other way, and let them finish their second hour. Old school versus new school. Both techniques are wonderful, and you can see where one has a slight advantage over the other. But you know what? We can't throw either one out because they both produce an absolutely delicious, moist turkey. So, I hope you've enjoyed today taking a look at some of the things we still do sometimes, but also taking a look at something that's totally new and you may not have tried before. I hope you will try this, because you will start to fix turkey on days other than a holiday. Thank you so much for joining us today in this segment of VLOGmas and taking a look at an old school method of preparing the turkey and the new school methods of preparing the turkey. I've put some links down below so that you can go and take a look at this new school method, because you know what? I think that might be something I might try, because it saved a lot of time. So join me another day of VLOGmas, and you know what? Until then, have a blessed and wonderful day.